And now I heard him say, if we made him president again, he would settle the Ukraine war in 24 hours. Did you hear that one? That's a beauty. That's really in a career of complete falsehoods. That makes the top 5. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say Donald Trump could settle it in 24 hours. Let me tell you how he would. He'd give Ukraine to Russia. And he said it. He said it on television. He said it at CNN, and he said, look, Russia's going to wind up with Ukraine anyway, so what's the difference? That's how he'd settle it in 24 hours. He'd call Zelensky and say, hey, guess what? Time to raise the Russian flag up on the pole. We're out of here. So I'm going to talk about those things and a lot more because I don't want to do it all tonight because, you know, I want you to come to the next one. But that didn't happen last time. He was given a free pass. Did he ever do this with you? Did Donald Trump come to New Hampshire 7 years ago and stand in the middle of the room and take any question from anybody without knowing who you were or what your question was going to be? Oh, no. He went over to the hockey arena and stood in front of a large crowd and gave his normal speech, waited for all of you to cheer and chant his name, and then he left. Got on his airplane and went home to sleep in his apartment in New York. I'm at the Hilton Garden Inn tonight, in case you're wondering. The bar's open until 11. So, guess what? I'm calling him out. It's time for him to stand in the center of this room and answer questions. It's time for him not to look at somebody and when he doesn't like their question, just call them a mean person. Right? Guess what? You want to be president of the United States? Stand in the center of the room in front of the people that you ask to govern and take their questions. And if he's unwilling to do that, send him back to Mar-a-Lago. Plays golf every day anyway. Let him go back to playing golf. And by the way, that's one other promise. I'm glad I brought that up. Remember, I stood on the stage in 2016. He said, with all the problems America has, how can Barack Obama play 120 days of golf? How can he do it? I won't play one day of golf. I'll be so busy solving your problems that I won't play one day of golf. 265 days of golf in 4 years. Now look, I don't golf. So I can guarantee you I won't be golfing. But that's not the point. The point is, it was all a lie. He plays golf all the time. He owns golf courses. So when he told you he wouldn't play one day of golf, here's the worst part. He never meant it. He never meant it. Now, seriously, if character is destiny, how do we reward that anymore? It's one thing to make a mistake. It's one thing to make a bad judgment. But when his whole life is about golf, when most of his profits are in owning golf courses, and then he comes in front of you and says, I won't play a day of golf as president, I don't care whether he plays 500 days of golf. In fact, having him out of the Oval Office might have actually been better than having him in it. But don't lie to me. Don't treat me like a fool and tell me you'll never play when you know you have every intention of doing it. And by the way, making the Secret Service stay at your hotel and pay your hotel rates on the taxpayer's dime, too. Because let me tell you something, everybody. The grift from this family is breathtaking. It's breathtaking. Jared Kushner and Ivanka Kushner walk out of the White House and months later get $2 billion from the Saudis. $2 billion from the Saudis. You think it's because he's some kind of investing genius? Or do you think it's because he was sitting next to the President of the United States for 4 years doing favors for the Saudis? That's your money. That's your money he stole. And gave it to his family. You know what that makes us? A banana republic. That's what it makes us. So, he may get 30% again. I'm not sure. Maybe he'll get more. Maybe he'll get less. But let me tell you what he'll know in 2024 that he had no idea of in 2016. He's in for a fight to get it.